And the reason he had to go through that drastic change into the modernized dress is because the crisis that Japan encountered earlier, maybe 10 years before, 1852 to 54. And the man who brought a sense of urgent crisis to Japanese people are this man, like the same man here. He was depicted at the same time, many pieces, the same man. And his name is Commodore Perry. Have you ever heard of Commodore Perry? He's from the US, from Massachusetts. So he was a US Navy general, Commodore, and he brought his steamship across the Pacific Ocean and went to Japan. And that's how Japanese people felt threatened. Commodore Perry didn't have any intention, but why is this not here together? But like people felt that way, that if we don't take an action, that this American Commodore is going to take over our country. That's how people felt. Luckily, Commodore Perry moved away after 2 years. They signed on an agreement that they are going to start to trade with the US, but he left. But Japanese people felt that we should do something. So that is the beginning of Meiji Restoration and Japan's modernization. But at the heart of this modernization, you also see the dress. So I want you to remember this name, Yokohama. Japan did not open up everything to the foreigners, but like Americans and Westerners, they were able to live in Yokohama. Yokohama is very close from Tokyo, like less than an hour away. And that's where American tailors started to operate. So they provided Western clothes to both Westerners as well as Japanese men for business purposes. So eventually the Tokugawa Bakufu system collapsed, and then Japan moved really quickly. So Meiji Restoration 68 completed, and then quickly 1870 the Japanese government sent young Japanese people to Britain, Germany, that was Prussia at the time, or to US to study Western technology and engineering. And then they also established Western style universities. So as they introduced these new governmental and societal systems, cultural exchange was expedited. So people who left Japan to live in, let's say, Paris, London, they quickly cut their hair and adopted European suit, Westerners suit. And people living in Japan, they were also gradually using the Yokohama tailors. And then they quickly built tailoring schools. So Japanese people, like Japanese tailors, were trained 1880s. So suddenly, like large cities like Osaka, Tokyo, or Kyoto, business people who are trading with Westerners, they start to show up in Western suit. And also there are world expositions, Exposition Universelle, it means world expositions. That was a very popular world event to go. Each country participated in these world expositions to show their industrial products, industrial developments. So Japan started to go this in 1862 London International Exhibition. And again, in order to go to these places, eventually they adopted Western etiquette, like a hat, and then they put the gloves on. and they have a new clothes. So these are Japanese participation in World Exposition.